Cuba. Beautiful Cuba. There are people who wish that Cuba was free, quote unquote. But what I have to say to that is Cuba's already free. Cuba was already liberated from imperialism, from the bourgeoisie, from the elite, from the status quo, from the Batista organization, or whatever you want to call it, that was in charge of the country at the time. They were liberated by Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, and all the Cubans who fought for that freedom. On the 26th of de Julio, everybody knows this. If you don't know this, you haven't studied Cuba. But on to other things. A lot of people think that Fidel Castro is a evil man, that he somehow has taken control of the country and has not given up power since the revolution. What I have to say to that is the revolution was a great thing. What happened afterwards maybe might not have been the best, but you have to understand there was a trade embargo on Cuba by the United States of America that constrains the Cuban economy and its growth. And you also have the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, the USSR, Cuba was dependent on the USSR for a lot of things, and the collapse of this government caused Cuba to go into a recession, if you will. And that doesn't change the fact that millions of people in Cuba still love their country, and things are unchanged in Cuba. Things haven't been ravaged by capitalism the way that a lot of countries have been ravaged by capitalism. You still have beautiful forests in Cuba. You don't have Walmarts on every corner. You don't have Starbucks on every corner. You have beautiful, beautiful places and beautiful sights to see in Cuba. Why do people think that Cuba and Cubans don't like Fidel Castro, don't like communism? This is a joke. This is a complete erroneous joke that people believe and con themselves into believing. There's plenty of people in Cuba who still remember that day, the 26th of Julio. And there's plenty of Cubans who still represent that day and still follow this great man. So what I have to say is communism is a rock, and it's never going to leave. Communism is always going to be there. There's nothing you can do to communism unless the imperialists go in on their own and change things, or the people change things from within, which is encouraged by communism. By all means, change things. Make it for the people, by the people then. Because that's what it's supposed to be about. That's what communism is about. It's for the people. It's for the common people. And thank you for watching this video. All I have to say to people who think that Cuba is an oppressive regime, and their people are captive and prisoners there, just enjoy capitalism. Just enjoy your Glade plugins and your air conditioning. Seriously, you guys are a joke.